We each have ideas of how it is that you move within your world. And as you discover more of yourself, as you reach in words to your intuitions and attempt to live a spontaneous life, you realize parts of yourself that shock and amaze you. But understand that within each moment that passes for you, there are understandings that lie outside your current knowledge. Those limits that you have set for yourself keep you within a state of reality that is quite acceptable in that current moment. But as you learn and as you gain knowledge of how you perceive yourself and who you really are, you will find that those limits are gradually moved and that your perceptions pick up on more and more of yourself. That lies outside of what you originally had perceived as the idea of yourself. This idea of probabilities is a gateway of increased knowledge and understanding of who you really are. And with the events that have transpired within your known reality, and those events imperceptible to you at the time, we wish to give you information that will guide you in your understanding of yourself and also confirm the knowledge that you do have. Now, probabilities. Each moment you understand that you exist within physical reality, there is a probability created with each focus. What does happen in your realm, it gives off an equal not happening in another realm of existence. This is a quite simplistic way of thinking of this interaction. But you understand for every you that finds its perception in physical reality, this on your earth, there are innumerable other focuses of you at different points that cannot be found by any continuum, cannot be limited in any way by perception. These points of focus lie within the matrix of consciousness. They are the consciousness that is you, in the grander sense of who you are. And when you understand That not only does your present moment have different focuses and many different representations of that moment, but each moment in your past and each of your future moments also has this nature. You will find that this concept that we speak of is applicable to all situations that you can contemplate. But we're not going to limit ourselves, or you, to just one situation of where it applies. But this is how we will describe. This is the example we will give. That Ruth finds herself at one point, one moment, say a week ago, and through expressing her emotions, living spontaneously, and being connected to the greater part of herself, she has gleaned awarenesses from her experience and made those changes within her belief system. Those changes have come about, but the representation within her reality it takes some time, only because she expects that they will take that time. Now, a week later, in the present moment, Ruth notices that her life has changed somewhat. That small things have changed, and larger things. Some things have broken down and are expecting to leave her experience. Other things seem to have changed for the better. And the people and the animals in her life appear to be happier. And you find this is so for yourselves, that you have made the changes, that you have changed your beliefs, and in the coming moments that the changes appear to have taken place within your reality. And you find yourself in interaction with another, with a family member who has changed their behavior. You think to yourself, because you believe in these constructs of time and space, you think to yourself that you have changed yourself so that your other has followed you down this path. That the other has changed also to meet to your expectations. However, based on the principle that all experience is an illusion, that you are creating your experience, and in that creating, you are perpetually changing your focus. And in that focus, you are changing yourself primarily. And in that change, your focus lights upon the vibrational equivalent of the focus that you find within the number of probabilities of the other, your family member, your person with which you react. You are finding the appropriate probability that will match your new state of belief. And this is the other that you meet on the following morning. This is the other that has changed according to your perception. So that the other that you knew that was in your life last week when you changed your beliefs has not followed you to this new point. The other is still within those parameters, those beliefs, if they choose to be, and is met with the probability of you and who you are, or who Ruth is, and is interacting with that probability closer to their vibration. Of course, understanding this principle is much easier with a visual image. And some of you will receive this automatically when you hear our words and perceive our energy. You have heard others speak of probabilities, the nature of probabilities, and how they affect your life, how they affect the reality that you live in. But we wanted to delineate that for every moment you exist, under each state of your system of beliefs, there are a number of probabilities for all others that you interact with, and those probabilities seek the other that is closely matched to their vibrational equivalent. And the two meet, traveling the path together until such time that they separate once again to find an equivalent vibrational energy to connect with. In truth, you are never married to the same person moment after moment after moment. You cannot be. It is not the nature of consciousness, nor it is the nature of probabilities. The implications of this, one of the implications of this, is that when you consider your past memories, those traumatic events that you wish to forget, It is attempting to forget them. That you confirm the nature of that emotional state. Every time you remember that event, you reaffirm the traumatic event, attaching more emotion and emotion to that event. But when you understand the nature of probabilities, you will understand that seeking back within your memory, all memories appear as valid. And each memory has innumerable number of probabilities attached to it. So let's say that you pick a memory and that you consciously choose to not recall that event any longer, but change it within your mind's eye. You change the memory to a new memory, something that could have happened. And by nature, it will be closely related to the traumatic event at first. By nature, you will set down a number of strict parameters for that new memory. Understandable. But part of you will look back on the old memory with regret. And that regret holds within it the thought that as you lose that old memory, you are losing part of yourself. You reach back into that memory time and time again in order to find yourself within that. You hold on to it because you do not want to lose what you once were. You are hanging on to the physical representation of who you are within this physical reality, and that is not who you are. So we want you to let go of this idea of reaching for yourself within this traumatic memory. I want you to understand that those things that you wanted within that memory, those things that you want so much to bring to your present and hold dear, you are not losing those things. You are not losing those items, those loved items in that old experience. You can put them into your new experience that you are generating for yourself, for a time that will comfort you. But at some point you will understand that these are limits that you have set for yourself. Limits in this new memory that you have created. That in fact, there are innumerable probabilities that can compensate better for your new vibration. That can compensate and be a better match for the state of your emotions and your feeling. There are many other possibilities of action for this group of loved items that you wish to keep or get back. When you find it within yourself to let go of the idea of a created memory, and let the natural process of your changing beliefs change your past moments for you. You will find the release, the freedom for the new story, the freedom for those items that you believe to be of worth to come back to you. You do not have to reach within a distorted moment of perception, the traumatic event, in order to bring that part of yourself back to you. You will find it in many other probabilities. You will find it represented in a loving state, in a prosperous state. Now, one more idea we will give you is that when each of you started on this spiritual path to find yourself, you were at a point within three-dimensional reality, finding yourself unsatisfied for whatever reason, some of you in pain, suffering, and some of you angry. You started on your path, and through a series of events and a series of changes you have made to yourself and your own state of existence within this physical realm, you have figuratively moved yourself to a new understanding. Figuratively moved from a three-dimensional reality to a four or a five-dimensional reality. You have moved yourself figuratively, symbolically, to a new point of understanding and knowledge. And you believe that you have moved, you have traversed this path, and that these people that you knew within the three-dimensional realm, you believe you are leaving them in order to exist within your five-dimensional realm. But because we have introduced the idea of probabilities to you, some of you should already understand, and we will set it down for others, that for every point of reference, every focus of each person, each individual within the three-dimensional world also has a number, innumerable number of probabilities within all realms. And when you yourself move to the fifth dimension, or whatever you would like to call that state of being, you will find the representation of the other that matches you at that point. You will find the probability of the other you knew just moments ago in your new perception. The other doesn't follow you, nor do you follow others. You find each other at that new point of understanding, that new point of knowledge. And when your understanding of yourself changes at that point, the nature of consciousness has it that you will find other probabilities, other focuses that match your vibrational equivalent at that point. The connections are more complex, but it is not something that we plan to lay out in terms of words and language. Some of you will be quite interested in the implications. You will find this knowledge within yourself, within your own inner reality, and the expression of your individualism within the inner realm. Understand that when we use the word individual, we are using it as a more descriptive term rather than focus. But in truth, it's your individual focus that makes your connections within inner reality, just as it makes your connections within physical reality. This subject deserves much retrospection. We will come back to this subject as time allows, as questions are asked. But at this time we will end.